All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are going to now show you the high school version of what we call the key to the castle, tasting wine with air. Tasting wine like a wine pro does, but in a simpler way. So if you haven't seen the kindergarten version, we recommend you watch the kindergarten version first. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you first two things that I don't want you to do that are ways to get oxygen to your taste buds, which is the goal here, while you're tasting the wine. The first thing I don't want you to do looks like this. Okay, unless you've got experience, don't do that. Second thing I don't want you to do is horrible and disgusting and should never be done in front of another human being ever. And it mirrors what you do when you're eating. It's like opening and closing your mouth while you're eating. So sometimes we call it frog mouth or fish mouth. So it's horrible and disgusting, but it is a great way to get oxygen to your taste buds. So it looks like this. All right, there you have it. That's the second way. So what I want you to do, though, is a combination of those two ways, but done much, much, much gentler. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Then I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to do it yourself. So what it looks like is this, exaggerated, of course. Yum. So, and the yum is the most important part. So that's what I really want you to do. So 3 tips to do this. So tip number 1, half the amount of wine you think you need, cut in half again. Tip number 2 is if you breathe air in too hard, you are going to get alcohol. So if you go, you are going to get alcohol. And tip number 3 is tilt your head forward. Do not worry about it projectiling across and hitting the wall across from you when you do this. Instead, let yourself ski downhill. And what you want to create is this feeling of a tiny bit of fluid, very small amount of fluid, kind of leaning down. So it sort of leans down in the front of your mouth against your front teeth. And then what you're going to do is almost like a marionette string. So you're pulling on the string. So as you're gently pulling the air or opening and closing your mouth, you're actually pulling on the strings, but the wine stays forward. That way it won't come all the way back where you might cough. So those are your 3 tips. Tiny bit of wine, so half the amount of wine you think you need, cut in half again, tilt it forward, not breathing in too hard because that's going to get you alcohol. So I'm going to demonstrate it again now. So if you do, yum, can't leave out the yum part. So if you do get alcohol when you do that, it means you're doing too much breathing in of the air instead of the frog mouth. So you're combining this breathing in and frog mouth, gentle amounts of both. So if you get the air, if you do the breathing in and you get alcohol, try it leaning forward a little more and only doing the opening and closing of the mouth really small, and do that and see if you can get it. It's almost like learning a new dance step. When you start doing the dance step, you need to practice it, and that's the deal. So as a kindergartner, we don't beat up kids when they can't get it right the first 7 times. You know, we cheer them on and keep going. So go for it, listen to this as many times as you need to, and you'll get to have fun doing new and creative things with tasting wine. Cheers.